We are three friends exploring connection, from the coffee shop to the podcast studio. I'm Amy.
I'm Anna.
I'm Erin. Been taking a good hard look about the parts that I'm ready to own up to in a more like just open way, because I really admire people when they can just show up in their full truth and that they're not throwing their stuff around there. It's not like throwing around vulnerability just to be. It's just like, no, this is just who I am. And when I come across people that just stand in their truth, it is super powerful. And every time I'm like, oh, I need to do that. And not that I'm inauthentic in the world. They're just parts of me that I don't love, or parts of me that are just harder to like friend. So just taking a deeper look at what those parts of me.
That's so cool. Well, and that's interesting because I've heard of this idea of like a performance vulnerability, and that like makes me think of like what you just said about like, oh, just being vulnerable just for the sake of being vulnerable.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like not really being in it or truthful about it, but just like, oh, I'm being so vulnerable. Do you know?
Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I mean, showing up on this, I mean, even this podcast has had me take a deeper look at like, holy, that's just like,
hell yeah.
I don't know who's going to be listening to it. I don't know what's going to be happening, but I'm just going to show up. Yeah. And then afterwards, I think in the last two recordings, I've had a vulnerability hangover because I'm like, oh man, it's a lot. But it also feels very good to be able to have these real conversations, because I don't know that we're not holding back much.
No.
And so this is like, we're being real, then it's a practice of being honest, right?
Yeah. Right. Well, and it's kind of scary to like do this podcast and be like, oh my gosh, in the past, it's been very, like I've been able to be very controlled about what I put out there, like my book and, my social media stuff. It's like, okay, I'm protecting what I'm sharing, and there's a certain safety in that. And then sitting here with two people I'm very close with and having real conversations, it's like I'm sharing things that I normally wouldn't share with people I just meet on a plane or, or out and about or whatever. So it's like a different kind of vulnerability. And I think it's been really good too, because it's made me kind of own the idea of either don't do it or be okay with what you've done.
Yes.
And that's
good. That's really good.
I'm sure I did not make that up.
Right, but it's a good thought.
I just made that up. Aren't I amazing?
Brilliant.
Genius.
Brilliant.
But it's like either own it or don't do it.
Yeah.
And so it's like that's a whole different level of honesty of like, if I don't want anyone to know about what I'm doing, and like, oh, there was this quote I saw, Gretchen Rubin. It was like, pay attention to anything you try to hide.
Oh, I saw that.
That's a good one.
It was
that gets right in there.
Yeah. And it reminded me of a coffee meeting, coffee we had, and I was like, okay, there are two things I have to tell you two about.
I remember this.
I remember this too.
I'm sure you do.
Yes.
And I was like, I don't feel like I want to tell you these things,
but then you did.
I know I need to tell you because I'm trying to hide it.
Yeah.
And recognizing that, holy cow, I don't want to share this because it might put me in a weird spot, or I have to talk about something I don't want to talk about.
I just remembered.
You're
that was hilarious.
Yes.
Also, not appropriate to share in public, but really, really funny.
Yes.
Yeah, there's that.
Good for you for recognizing it and then actually doing something about it.
And being honest about it, because
exactly.
When we sit on those things, then they eat us alive, I feel like.
Yeah, well,
when we don't share them.
If you like us, don't forget to subscribe and be sure to leave a review. It helps other people find us and could be just what they need.